Exactly. Yeah, that signing ceremony may have looked like this was a done deal, but it's anything but. This is the way it works with these free trade deals. With the EU, the Commission has the signing ceremony, but after that, the national governments need to approve it. Now, in this case, the Commission has controversially removed the foreign policy aspects of this, which means that it only needs qualified majority to pass in the European Council. That's the upper chamber of the EU's legislature made up of national governments. As you say, France is fiercely opposed to this trade deal, but it does not have the votes to stop it in council right now. Paris has been fiercely lobbying other EU countries to join them in their opposition. They've successfully convinced a couple countries, Poland, Netherlands, Ireland, but that's not enough. If they can't get countries equaling 35% of the EU population to join them in voting against this, it will pass. Now, key to this is Italy. We've heard conflicting statements coming out of the Italian government, with the agriculture minister suggesting he opposes it, and then the foreign minister saying, no, Italy supports this. So it may really be up to Giorgia Meloni whether this actually becomes a trade deal or not. But of course, from France's perspective, this is coming at a very bad time. Of course, the government just collapsed 2 days ago. So Paris is really not in a position to be rallying other countries right now. They're very distracted with internal issues. And there's some suspicion in Paris that Ursula von der Leyen is taking advantage of the political chaos in Paris in order to ram through this trade deal. And they're warning, you're hearing a lot of voices in Paris warning that this is only giving more political fodder to the anti-EU parties of the far left and the far right if this trade deal does indeed pass with France voting no. On the other side, the countries that are very supportive of this, like Germany and Spain, say, look, this is EU democracy. This is not, just because France opposes this, and if there's a majority of countries representing the majority of EU citizens approving this, France doesn't get to block it. That's just the way it works. So it'll be interesting to see what happens in the next weeks here.
And other EU external trade deals in recent times have encountered setbacks. The Transatlantic Trade and Investment Partnership with the United States was abandoned, and the Comprehensive Agreement on Investment with China has still not been signed. Could this possibly be another one for the agreement graveyard?
Yeah, that's a really interesting question, because the timing of this, it kind of goes against what people's expectations were 5 years ago. When TTIP, the U.S. free trade deal, was killed, Canada was passed with great difficulty, it was thought, okay, free trade is dead. The citizens don't want it. We're not going to be able to push through any of these agreements. This Mercosur deal has been negotiated for 20 years, and really they finished negotiations in 2018, but this has been stalled for that long because it was perceived that no free trade deal was possible. However, with the geopolitical headwinds facing the EU, with Donald Trump threatening a trade war against the United States, with the German economy having big struggles, especially with exports, there's been a renewed push for this. They're saying that the EU, this is critical for the EU to do right now in the face of threats from China and the United States. Germany in particular, because the auto industry has really been struggling and they need people to buy those German cars, has been pushing for this. So it's coming at an interesting time. If this does pass, I think that preconceived logic that free trade was just not going to be able to happen anymore will be challenged in light of the new geopolitical developments and the headwinds that the EU is facing.
Thank you very much for that, Dave Keating in Brussels.